As famed dungeon master 50 Cent once said, trying to stop the party talking to every single villager. I don't know what you heard about me, but a bitch can't get a story out of me. No plot, no voice, you can't see. I'm a motherfucking bland NPC.
God, so much.
Hey.
Like, incredible, man. Incredible commitment.
Thank you.
To
the
lesser men would have given up on such a joke.
Not me. Hey, welcome to Homebrew, the show where we avoid the crushing dullness of everyday life using our two favorite forms of escapism. It's feeling real this episode. Alcohol and Dungeons and Dragons. If you're just catching us for this episode, I beseech you, go back one, because we're filming it all in one big block. So myself and Cab have not. It has been weeks for you. It has been mere moments for us. As we continue. Yeah, I'll break kayfabe.
Yeah.
I'll break it. I'll break it right over my knee. I'll crack that kayfabe right there. You might notice because we haven't changed clothes. Smarter Hollywood elites would swap their outfits.
I bet have plans too.
I put these beside me. I'm like, maybe just swap my. I'm like, no, why? It's what the professionals do. Anyway. We're going to dive straight into the action. Before we do, of course, you can use that 10% discount code at dakotairish.com. Use the promo code Trolltunga. If you watched the last episode and you're like, oh, gifting's a good idea, but you now you're on this episode and you still haven't done it?
TikTok.
Santa Claus coming to town.
Santa Claus coming to town.
And you got to get those dice. You got to get those dice trays. You got to get those candles.
You just got to get those fucking candles.
You got to get those t-shirts for your DM.
Yeah.
The time and effort. I know it doesn't seem like it. The time and effort us DMs put into these things. It at least deserves a t-shirt that you're only paying 90% of the recommended retail value for. Because you're getting 10% off with Trolltunga.
I mean, think about it. Think about it.
You're supporting local.
Yeah.
Supporting the Dakota Irish.
Mm-hmm.
You are letting them know that when we tell you about these things, you guys listen. That's the...
Yeah. Any more ad copy and it's starting to feel like a shakedown. I feel it's like...
Yes.
Be a real shame if something happened to your DM. If only you could buy him a t-shirt.
Be an awful shame if you didn't have candles next session.
Yeah.
Who knows what that wick's going to do. But yes, of course, head on over, get yourself a tasty 10% off using Trolltunga. They're wonderful people. They will even help you and guide you if you don't know anything about tables. Now, I understand this. I actually was thinking about this the other day. They, sometimes they'll be like, hey, mention our personal shopper services. Like, who's watching this? Who doesn't know about D&D?
Yeah. They have episodes and episodes, years of content to go through to understand.
Yeah. What's the...
Yeah.
If that's you, comment.
Please do.
How did you get here? What
algorithmic
journey did you take?
It's like, really like the story, but what the hell is going on here? What's with all these dice?
Are they not wearing pants? They keep looking down.
Yeah.
We'll cut back in. No recap, no nothing. Grab yourself a drink, pull up a chair, get fucking hammered. Kiss your crushes. I don't know. Live your life.
Live your life. Shoot your shot.
Yeah. We are in the middle of a board game of all board games, the game of all games, not Hook's game show, the game of death, but a different game in this world called Settlers of Mousetrap, of which Brewdog has just revealed he knows this is no blue jumper, but this is the one and only Dusk, a vigilante of Doonmore, who seems to have been, and although you mightn't have seen it on this stream, streets riddled with orc bodies. The body count is high. Yeah, it's high. And without further ado on that, let's dive in. Let's roll some initiative.
Fucking love initiative.
Straight into battle. Boom. Okay, nice. We got a little bit of that.
I got 13.
13. Not bad.
Well, I rolled a 3.
Yes. Yeah.
It's bad.
That's still pretty good. A +10 to your initiative.
+10 is so... I know. Next ability thing, I am getting the alert feat to get myself +15 initiative. I just want to know that I'm going to be top of the order.
I can be first, and I can just let the others do what they want to do. I'll come back in, stab him. Brewdog first, kind of not really a surprise round. He's just top of the range relatively well. Pushes his chair back and dives across the table to lunge at you, trying to pin you to the ground. He's going to make an opposed grappling check. Fucking hell. So I need you to make athletics or acrobatics.
Oh, it's going to be acrobatics.
While you do, I'll introduce the viewers to the beers we're drinking, because we didn't do that at the top of the show. I'm having a Castaway. You'll see it here. Doing a little bit of a Wayne Boggs system behind me, so you'll know how drunk I am. Oh, it looks like two. No, I've had three. Which is pretty good.
Pretty good going, yeah.
We know this whole day ahead of us. So.
Yeah. I rolled a 26.
There's a couple of things in D&D that are natural. Often 20s and 1s. To my dismay, he rolled a 1.
Oh, wow!
So you managed to shoot down. Over the table he goes, and he crashes into the wall behind you, setting about this kind of...
Can I roll a sleight of hand check as well?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm going to roll that. It's an 18, and I want to, while I'm like scuttling under the way, I want to like sleight of hand a scarf over him, so when he like crashes into the thing, he comes out and he's wearing a silk scarf.
Yes. yeah. Even has a little powder on his face.
Yeah. How do I do that? Yeah. Okay, yeah, so...
Scarf around him. It is your turn. He has crashed into a wall, knocked against a bookcase. The bookcase is just swaying slightly. These bottles of potions are ding, 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 ding. Like dominoes, you get the feeling this bookcase is coming down any second now.
Cool. So, bonus action. I think when I was dressed as Blue Jumper...
Yes.
I didn't have any weapons on, obviously. That would not. So, bonus action, I would like to call to Abby de Vauclair for... Do I want Fragarak? I think just a rapier. Okay. Because that's more becoming of a gentleman.
Yes.
So, call for a rapier, she throws it, and I catch it.
Yes. Make a sleight of hand or acrobatics check.
Both fucking amazing for me, not gonna lie. Let's do sleight of hand. That is going to be a 25.
Yeah, easily. You've practiced the maneuver before. Sometimes late night, you're watching your shows together.
Yeah.
Things are calm and you're like, beer me.
A rapier, I don't even need to look. A rapier just like flies from the crowd and I'm like, shh. Then I'd like to attack with it.
Yes.
And that is going to be a 18.
Okay. Hey, I found my pen. How?
What the hell?
Watchers of last episode, I lost this. It wasn't, and I just picked it up in front of me.
Yeah.
Magic. As I write down. So 18 to hit.
18 to hit, yes.
Yes.
And then a 11 in terms of damage.
Do you get sneak attack if there's enemies nearby? Both Adrian Strom and the Demon of Baker Street are near.
Oh, so would they be considered enemies?
Yeah, I actually think given the actions that both Paul and Wes decided on when they were playing these characters originally, it didn't seem like they were on Brewdog's side.
Gotcha.
Agents of Chaos, whatever they were.
Okay, right, yeah. So they're kind of neutral party.
Yeah.
So I could treat it as flanking, or I could treat it as enemies.
Yeah.
If we treat it as enemies, then that's sneak attack. And it's looking good so far. That was 2 6s. Another 6 and a 3. That is 21. And there's another 6 in there and a 3. That is
30.
30, yeah.
Plus the 11 you rolled?
30 plus the 11. That is 41.
41 points of damage in a single
round.
It's
good to be 12. It's good to be level 12.
Yeah.
Sneak attack is just insane. Sorry. And you get it so much as a swashbuckler.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose someone could be like fireball, but there's area effect there.
Yeah,
you're just I'm hitting this one person with this vicious attack. 41 points of damage is quite a lot in that I think with a rapier, and forgive me if I'm putting words in your mouth, You're having a little bit of Zorro fun.
Yeah. I'm slicing off, like, he's not, he was shirtless.
Everything except the things you put on him.
yeah, basically, he is, like, down, like, fully naked, but for a silk scarf.
Yes. Which, for the audience, to keep us PG, because of course we have been. It's a long enough scarf.
It's a long scarf. Yeah. And it's blowing and just...
It would want to be. The occasional blur of Gavin's camera covers anything.
Yeah. Whenever it's not in focus, it's because there's huge dong on shirt.
Wow, okay. Hefty damage as he starts kind of bleeding out and stumbling, knocking into these bookcases of potions. It is Demon of Baker Street's turn, and he seems to pick a stick off the ground and launch it at Brewdog. And that stick, midair, turns into a snake. But Brewdog manages to dodge it, and it wraps instead around the neck of Adrian Strong.
Right, yeah.
As he's being restricted by a... that'll be too easy. Let's call it not a restrictor.
Yeah.
By just a common pet snake. One of those yellow ones. You know the ones that seem like they'd be fun at parties?
Yeah. Boa?
A little Britney Spears snake?
Yeah.
Is that what they are?
A feather boa? No, a boa constrictor. Yeah.
Oh, but though originally, they think the dinosaur has scales, but they actually have feathers. So maybe the feather boa is...
It could be a feather boa, yeah.
We never know. And backs up himself and knocks over another bookshelf of potions. Adrian Strom, you catch this in your peripheral. He's like the snake around his neck. He's stumbling around the place. And it's weird, because where his hands are trying to get the snake off are swapped with like club-like features. So he takes a whiff of this potion in, and the magic effects immediately begin to manifest. And it's almost like his hands... No, it's literally like his hands and his knees swap places. He's just there struggling away. But
the old hand-knee potion gets them again. A classic.
It's useful for crawling through vents.
Yeah.
You need hands on your knees. But he manages to get the snake off, throw it aside, and he waves his magical hands, classic wizard that he is, and sends out a cold blizzard your way. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. It's also going to catch Brewdog in this wave of cone of cold.
Saving throws, dex. Yeah. So... Oh no, that's 11.
But I think you have evasion, right? So you still take half damage?
I do take half damage, yeah.
Brewdog, actually I should roll for him. Got a 10 on the die. His dex isn't good. Brewdog takes a whopping 9 damage. You only take 4.
Yeah. Rounding down, generous.
Yeah. I don't know who decided to round down first, but we've just taken it since.
Yeah. I like rounding down.
Yeah. Works both ways.
It does, exactly. Yeah. All comes out in the wash.
As it leaves behind a scorched, frosty, almost comic shape of him. In places where the ice doesn't hit in the wall. It's a Brewdog left shape. It turns around to Shadow's turn. Shadow is, of course, a bit of a cleric. You are dusk, she is Shadow.
Yeah.
As 2 arrows come from the distance. What I like, I hadn't thought about it initially, but it makes sense that this is a viewed game. In my mind, it was just the 4 of you in a room, but I like the fact that there was an audience here.
Yeah.
Something that those arcane investigators didn't pick up on when they investigated this crime scene. But both those arrows just narrowly miss because of the chaos of the scene. But they go into the wall. In fact, one of them hits a potion, and the potion begins to seep onto the ground, burning it up acidically. At top of the round, it is your turn. Brewdog looks rough, like death's door rough.
Yeah, and I'm kind of trying to think here, and maybe we break away from the initiative of the whole thing and say, like, we came here to place something on Brewdog and have him escape.
Yeah.
So maybe, although what Rían would like to in the moment, he is cognizant of the wider game here.
Yeah.
So, like, it maybe makes more sense for him to leave Brewdog alive. So Brewdog is rough. Where are Strom and the demon?
I think if we're in a square room, it's sort of like a triangle formation. Yeah. Brewdog leaped across it. You missed. And now they're kind of either side of you, sort of like an east or west. So you're south, he's north, that kind of You're almost like an arrowhead.
Yeah.
They're a little bit behind you, but they don't seem to be a threat to you. In fact, as you look around, you realize that the demon of Baker Street has also inhaled one of these potions, and the smell of it's winter festivity. The smell of cinnamon.
Yeah.
As he also seems to crumble to the ground dead, as if all of his organs, including his skin, has turned to baked goods.
Okay. Yeah.
Gone. It's just gone.
Yeah.
The potions they sell back here.
Yeah.
It seems very flippant, but there was more care put into this when we did it in the real episode, the other episode, where this was kind of you don't know this, but Wes and Paul investigate this crime scene.
Oh, okay,
and
right.
So certain things have happened.
Yeah, and then so I think we're in an apothecary. That's interesting to me.
Yes, there's potions everywhere.
There's potions everywhere. Are they labeled?
Oh no,
they're not. Okay,
color coded.
By what?
Color.
So I do have, I have spells myself.
Yes.
And I think, so if I weren't there, Demon of Baker Street is dead. Yeah. Would Adrian Strom go after Trolltunga if I weren't there? Do I think? Do I need a perception check?
Roll an insight check.
Insight check.
Yeah,
okay.
And you would have picked this up over the course of the game. Whether it was a just professional distance that they were maintaining, or there was something deeper.
20.
Yeah, I think so. You think they might have been here to... it's handy taking out raiders.
Yeah.
People who are infringing on their turf.
In which case, I'm going to attack. Strong with the rapier.
Yeah. Make an attack.
Yeah. 24.
24. Does hit.
Yeah. And... 12. 12.
Yeah. You manage. He's holding his own for a little bit. He initially tries to cast up a shield, a magical shield, but you manage to pierce through it, slicing kind of a corner of his arm begins to seep. He's backing up. He's trying to escape. He's just trying to dodge around you, but you're quick in what a normal kind of practice swing is slow. You're doing 3 or 4 in a second.
Yeah.
It's just whoop, whoop, whoop. There's times where your blade is spinning up in a way in which that the weight of it doesn't make sense, that you're able to maneuver it in such a way. But you've done nothing but train with a sword for your entire life.
Yeah. When
it wasn't a sword, it was the mop you were using to sweep up the sick of the orcs on the ship you were on. And he takes 12 damage, moves to Brewdog's turn. Brewdog tries to charge at you. And he takes his giant sword, drags it on the ground, scrapes it across. There's these sparks rising up, and he swings at you. Well, that's not going to hit. And you dodge out of the way right as it comes down on the table. It's like bunk, and it's so heavy that it's stuck on the table you were playing on. Your pieces scatter into the air, and he's there. He has to use his anything else he has left on his turn to try to get it back up.
Yeah,
his sword is right in on the table. Adrian Strom tries to jump out of the way. Let me get that D6 for you. There you go. See how well he does. Okay, not too bad. He dives into a safe corner of the room. It's one of the places where one of the bookshelves has already fallen down. And he takes a step back. And he breathes a sigh of relief. He made a mistake there. He breathed. Yeah. As the vapors of a potion go into his nostrils, and you're not an arcane investigator. You don't know what happens to him, except for he just seems to explode.
Right, yeah.
Someone might say that all the cells in his body have gained sentience, and the existential dread has blown their tiny minds. That's what happens to this guy. Is a puddle of blood. Abby takes another couple of shots at Trolltunga. She's not rolling well. 9s and 2s, even with their bonuses, aren't going to do it. As these arrows through the room, people are not screaming. They're criminals. They calmly walk away from the crime scene. And it's just you and Brewdog left. It is your turn. He is bleeding out. In fact, he is bleeding so much that he takes another 3 damage just from his wounds.
That's interesting. Because, like, Abby's still going for him. I think we want him alive, but with something on him to kind of trace him. Like, essentially, like, Brewdog's not the end goal here. Like,
yes,
he dies, it almost who cares? Like, we do want him dead, but we want to use him for a better purpose.
Yeah.
So
Abby clocks this, and she drops her invisibility that she's been firing from. She has greater invisibility. She steps over, and she, with a look, you guys have been in each other's company for long enough, and goes, play with him. Like, they kind of be just like, we can get the information on the promise that he stays alive.
Yeah.
He'll give it to us, and he'll die.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to hold the rapier against his neck. Do I need to attack roll or intimidation or something there?
You have something you might have forgotten about Fraggle, which is Zone of Truth on
Yes! Contact. Fuck, I do. Yes. So I ask for Fraggle from Abby, who has been holding all the weapons, and then cast Zone of Truth. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Yes. He fails. You know he fails, as this nick on his throat. And, like, it doesn't affect anyone else. It's not really a zone, it's more of a very precise cut.
Yeah.
As it's held to his neck.
Yeah. I wonder, do I want to reveal myself now? Probably. Yeah, he's going to die anyway. Hello, Brewdog. And then everything about the disguised self that I was holding together fades away. The hair disappears. The scar, like, reforms on my face. And then the mustache just, like, goes. And, like, I'm a distinctive looking man. And suddenly, Brewdog is faced with a visage that, like, he can't not know.
Yes.
So, like, even without saying it's me, even without saying, do you recognize Rían?
I mean, you can say, if you wanted to, I don't want to, you could say, hey, it's me. I'm the problem, it's me.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
I could. If I wanted to be very off the moment, I could. No, but I just, like, I hold the thing to his mouth and just say, hello, Brewdog. And then slowly let the visage come and, like, let the realization sit with him. I'd like some information.
And he knows, you can tell, like, he wasn't the captain of the ship you were on. But the practices he maintained are very similar to Trolltunga, very similar to Captain Peroni, very similar to Crooked Stave. Who's the captain of the Crooked Stave? I have it here, I'm not going to look. We just know. We know it's there. We just know it's whoever the captain of the Crooked Stave was. It wasn't Twisted Nuts. I'm going to look.
Twisted Nuts! Naming them after beers. Sometimes it works, and sometimes they end up named Twisted Nuts.
His name is Crooked Stave. The Lil Ricky was his ship.
Lil Ricky, yes. Of course,
Captain Peroni of the Peroni Librera, Captain Crooked Stave of the Lil Ricky, Captain Brewdog of the ship you exploded, and Captain Trolltunga of the Ruthless Krakendale. They would often host parties.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would bring the most enjoyable, lowliest of people. You were just a boy. It was fun to, like, force you around, push you, get drinks, all that kind of stuff. He does know you. Maybe without the mustache. I don't know how young you grew it.
Young.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. From the age of 12.
Yeah. Straight in there.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say anything. Zone of Truth is an interesting spell. Doesn't force you to speak.
No, yeah. So, he doesn't say anything, and then it's like, it's good to see you again. What's the word? I'd like to know what the old gang's up to these days. So tell me. Or myself, Dusk, and my colleague Shadow will kill you. Not quickly. That's not what you would do to us if the roles were reversed. Slowly. Painfully. Over months. So, it's in your interest, right now, to tell me exactly what I want to know.
You don't need to roll an insight for this. He pushes his throat further into your blade because he sees it as a quick release. Abby swiftly grabs the back of his throat, pulls it back, and shoves a potion in his mouth. And you see the wounds begin to heal. As she gives him a little bit more of the essence of life, and then she puts him back on the blade. She says, "There's no getting out of this easy." And with that, he goes, "Well, I suppose you're after Trolltunga. You're too late. He's gone tonight, if not earlier. And even if you could find him, we're spread across Hibernia. I got ships in Costa, ready to take that back. It's Malfina anywhere. They've already taken your city. Rua will get what she wants. We will get what we deserve. Even if I'm not around to see it."
And then I think, okay. I think I've gotten good information from him there. Like, Rían knows enough to infer a lot from that. So, at this stage, it's like, I think the thing I want to know is like, and maybe we won't get this, is like, that's all very interesting. That's all very good. I don't give a fuck about Rua. I don't give a fuck about all of the contacts you have across Hibernia. None of that will matter when you're all 6 feet under the ground, in the sea, burned to ash. However the fuck you decide to bury your dead, because I will fucking kill you. So, the only other thing I want to know, really, before I end your miserable life, is what's Trolltunga planning? And that's not because I want to stop him. I'll stop him anyway. I'm just interested in what the old fart is trying to accomplish
here. And he spits out, ting, 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 ting.
One of the side effects of Essence of Life.
Yeah, you lose your teeth.
Yeah,
it's heroin. He spits out a tooth, spits out some blood, hawks up some phlegm, and goes, "Only because I want to see your sad, depressed face one more time before I go, knowing you can't stop him. He's gonna find Dagda's cauldron. He's gonna feed his armies. He's gonna channel magic into it to power Rua's ritual. He's gonna slam the planes of existence together, and when there's nothing but rubble left on this earth, he's gonna claim what's rightfully his. But first," he kind of looks over his shoulder.
And before he does, I slice his throat.
Nice.
Don't give a fuck what's first.
He is slumped over the table where you had him pinned up. You guys leave. There's no need to be in Dunmore anymore. Trolltunga, unfortunately, has gone. Rua has, in some version of a recap of the show, you know what happens. She appeared, they disappeared, they found out who's bottom. You know that there are pirate ships in Costa. You know that he is heading to Bahaglan.
Yeah.
Abby, through a series of conversations, goes, "Well, I'm going to go to Bahaglan. I need to save the Fianna. I need to..." It's a tough decision because the people of Costa deserve help too. If you want to go there first, finish off the orcs, fine. I will be waiting for you in Bahaglan, and I will have information for you when we get there.
I think, though tempting though it is to go straight for revenge, I think I must do what is right for everyone. And in that decision, decides to go to Bahaglen first, and then he can hunt the orcs for sport. afterwards. Yes. You know, like the most important thing is Battaglen.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. We imagine, if you will, an old dusty map. As we zoom out from the location of Dune Moor on Hibernia, which is kind of southeast. And we see this dotted red line. Just a little loop-de-loop.
Yeah.
Stops off at some cool views. And finally arrives at its destination, Battaglen. You arrive with Abbey de Vauclair. You don't go with Fresh Prince, Lanfalon, Quail. They sail around. If anything, they might be able to sort the orcs out on their way back. You know, last you left off, they were trying to get back to Hux Punks, who are, you gathered, they were setting up a base of their own in a place called the Kingdom of Ossory. Through the little notebook of communication that you guys have, although you've left it behind now, you learn that they seem to have been Arlington's gathering an army. They've met a new person called Randir. He's a dwarf. He seems to be putting together some gadgets. Eggy managed to free her town from that demon she was talking about, which is good.
That's great.
And they are now heading towards one of the, as you learn about this over time on your journey, Rua seems to have set up a central ritual location where she is going to put together a plan to merge all the realms together. Feywild, Shadowfell, Far Realm, Hibernia itself, in an effort, because she's been cursed, that she can never return to the Feywild. But that's not to say the Feywild can't return to her. Classic Fey bullshit. The Black Hound does no longer seem to be a issue. Rua seems to have captured it somehow, tamed it, and has, at a certain point in your journey, there is a global broadcast of Rua's voice. We won't get into it, but the gist of it is she is trying to sway the people of Hibernia to her way of thinking. She is saying, you can travel, you can explore, you can adventure. If you've ever felt like you're alone and scared and locked up, you don't have to feel that way anymore. And she is sort of positioning herself as a mother figure in this realm. And people are swayed. Towns you stop off on, they're like, oh, you know, it's exciting. Adventuring parties seems to spread up all over the place. You know, a bit of a care knows, the Hux Punks know that, like, she wouldn't be all that, like, good, but to the common person in Hibernia, it's like, this is fantastic. I no longer have to, like, worry about the Black Hand. I no longer have to worry about, like, I can explore again. Life is getting prosperous. And so people begin to pray to her because the gods themselves weren't that hands-on. And as we make our way towards Battaglen, you arrive and you sneak into the city. And it is a city under siege. Orcs are already here. They seem to have captured Ars Amphina, which is at the top. It's a beautiful valley. And so the city itself is on like an incline. There's walls at the bottom. You know that this is the home of the Fina. You know this is usually their headquarters. And Minky Boodle is the name of the head of the Fina. He's a gnome. The show. And it seems like there's no Fina presence on the street. There are some orcs, burnt out towns. There are some like oil and fire run down the streets. Trolltunga's crew is here. The other two are obviously in Costa. He's escaped. He's here. And you can see, as you look up this, it's one of those cities that is on a perfect incline that you can almost see all of it at once. A beautiful view. Some farm yards, vineyards, training centres, pubs, and at the very top is surrounded by some protective walls, Ars Amphina. And there is a shard pointing up in the centre of it. And you look closer, and it's a couple of miles away, but you can see it perfectly. And like, that's not a shard. That's the crooked stave. Not horizontal, but vertical. Yeah. It's been planted and stuck somehow, maybe magically teleported into the ground, and there seems to be these swirling purple clouds around it at the top. Whatever is happening, something is happening up there, and you can see that there are dots. Things are coming out of that cloud, swarming around. Almost what you would call it Aedean. Abby turns to you and goes, she recognizes Incy as a member of the Fina. It's like, they've broken into the Far Realm. Beholders, mind flayers, things that haunt you at night. That's what lives there. And they have opened a gap into it. Whatever Rue is planning, she's siphoning... She doesn't sound like that. Whatever Rue is planning, she's siphoning the energy from the far realm. And if the book is to be believed, from the Feywild and the Shadowfell, a trilock, if you will, locking together these 3 planes. Now, Huck's Punk are going to look after the Fey realm. If we can destabilize the far realm, then all that's left is the Shadowfell. If she only has one, she can't be that strong. There are some people I need to see. There's just something that you need to do. But we got a hell of a fight ahead of ourselves here. And what I recommend is we gather ourselves, take a moment, see if we can call for help, and then we assault this thing. So if you have contacts here, it's worth meeting them. If you can find a way into our Sofina, I've only ever gone through the front gate. Or maybe the arts block. But definitely not by the Samuel Beckett or over by First Station.
No.
Oh, you losers take those routes. I'd rather walk around than dare into the grounds of Marsempina. You know where I am if you need me. And you have a calling stone to ring. I think we should take a break. I think we should take a halftime break there. As I just lore drop.
Lore drop. Bam!
Boom! Let's take a little break.
Here it is.
If you're enjoying this so far and you like the show, please do comment, subscribe, like. If you have a little bit extra money, I know it's holiday season, you probably won't, and that's okay. But every episode, we have a little Ko-fi, and we don't take any money from the show. We do it because we love the show, and we love coming out together. We love days like this.
Yeah.
My mum always told me. But we have a Ko-fi, and we take anything we get from that and we give it to Maasai, the movement of asylum seekers in Ireland, who are trying to end a thing called direct provision. If you don't know what that is, I'm not eloquent enough to explain it to you, but please do look it up, because it's a horrible system that looks like it's quite, let's welcome in some refugees, asylum seekers, let's welcome in some people, and then put them in an endless suffering of we should be out in a couple of weeks. No, it's been years. It's awful. So before I dive into that and the feelings and the dam is broken, we'll take a break. We'll be back in either immediately or 15 minutes or just after a word from some shows that we consider friends in the Irish tabletop community. But until then, grab yourself a drink and then get ready for part 2.
Get ready, bitch.
It's coming.
Revanche!
Hi, and welcome to Dakota Irish. We are a small family business based in rural Ireland who specialize in creating handcrafted wooden gaming supplies and selling extraordinary metal, polymer, and gemstone dice. As a leading craft and dice seller in the industry, we've been in business for over 3 years and our products have been sent to gamers all over the world. And what we love about tabletop community is how inclusive and welcoming it is, and we hope to encourage the same kind of positivity through our business. We are players ourselves and also big fans of shows like Critical Role, The Adventure Zone, and local Irish-made shows like Homebrew. We hope you can find what you're looking for, and feel free to contact us if you have any questions.
Hi there, my name is Declan. I am a member of D8 Dungeon, a group of Irish tabletop role-playing game enthusiasts. And that's just a long-winded fancy way of saying that I'm friends with a bunch of people who love telling stories, who love rolling dice, and sharing what we do with audiences all over the world.
Oh, sweetheart. Have you not listened to a single episode and how you really do an advert? Move over. Let Roz sort this out for you. Okay. Our podcast series, Romancing the Dungeon, in which I am the star, follows a band of friends. I guess they like each other, as they navigate a world filled with monsters and peril, all while trying to figure out what love really means for them, and hopefully paying off their debts to me, Roz Greypurse, founder, CEO, Love Wizard. Oh, and new episodes of the podcast are out on all major platforms every second Friday. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. I mean, what else are you doing at the weekend? Over on twitch.tv/D8 Dungeon, I think I might have used some sort of necromantic spell there, you'll find our streamed series, Oh, they put them in streams now. That's interesting. Rise of the Forsaken. Follow a group of siblings thrust into world-shattering events, while all they want are answers to who they really are and how family, blood, or chosen means more than anything else in the world. Oh my god. It's so emotional. Anyway, you'll find us on all the big social media channels. Just search for @D8 Dungeon. You can check out our Discord server, where again, you'll find me. And really, I'm all you really need out of all of this. So, if you like what you heard, come check us out. Anyway, back to the show and those wonderful, wonderful, sexy Homebrew Quest players.
Not editing this.
Yeah, no, not in the slightest. Maybe the occasional crossfade when you go blurry and we're not talking about anything.
Yeah.
This will probably stay.
This will stay. Yeah. All the kids in Springfield are SOBs.
Yeah, let's get you a little focus there. Funny little.
Did that trick work? It worked like once. It's like,
well, I'm not going to close it. I was going to explain what I'm doing.
bam.
Wow, it did work.
It did. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll do the on and off again.
No, but this is my new trick. Is like put my fingers close, get my fingers focused, and then open them up, and it just fucking. It's worked twice, so. As often.
That's the camera equivalent of like, hey, have a look at it.
yeah. That's it. That's a key.
All right. Do I have enough? Yeah, got plenty there. Welcome back to part 2 of Homebrew, where after
needless H in there. Welcome back to Homebrew, where
our adventurer Gav, just me, Gav. Hey, you want to spin this off? Sure. I might insist on a Patreon. This is the thing. But where Abby de Beauclair and especially Gav, but Rían have taken down Captain Brewdog, found out the information. There are orc pirates resting up outside of Costa, the magicless city. It's a paradise by the sea. Just so you know, if there's everything there, there's not magic allowed. That's their big thing.
And it's paradise.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. No wayward fireballs.
Yeah.
Teleporting into a wall. Magic is awful. But they have headed towards Bahaglen, the home and birthplace of the Fianna, a sort of hunter's ground of monsters and baddies, and where Huck initially was trained up. And they are here now, and they're in the city, looking up at, in the top district, a sort of walled campus, I suppose you would call it campus, where they train. But there now seems to be a ship towering. When I say towering, it's because it's on its side, in the center of it, rising up into the sky into a purple cloud of far realm magic madness. We are in Sam Raimi territory. Here, more than anywhere else. Abby de Beauclair has gone off. She's going to try find contacts in the Fianna to try get in. But you also have contacts in the city. You have contacts everywhere. You're a man about town. Is there anything? I suppose a couple of questions. One, how's Rían feeling?
Fired up.
Yeah,
I think interesting about this sort of thing is like obviously traveling from Dunmore to Bahaglen would have taken weeks.
Not that long.
Not that long. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Only for our own time.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the world would be dead.
Yeah. But it's taken a few days or whatever. So like the thrill of killing Brewdog has kind of worn off, and now he's in a sort of calculating mood. Is like, lived off that high for maybe like 48 hours, and then it was like, okay, now down to serious business. When we get to Bahaglen, here's what we need to do.
There have been more fade to blacks in that road journey.
Yeah,
you and Abby just get out whatever you need to get out.
Yeah.
And you know Trolltunga is here.
Mm.
This might not be the location of one of the Trilocks where eventually he will end up, but whatever he is doing here is important to the ritual.
Yeah.
And his ship has landed.
Mm.
A ship you know inside out. In fact, there was times when you were younger, captain on the ship, like, you know everything about this. The major foyers, the intricate...
To entertain myself as a child, I used to close my eyes and walk around and then see if I ended up where I thought I would based on, like, the space and stuff like that. Like, I know it with my eyes closed.
Yes, 100%. And they also used to get you to clean out, like, the inner belly of the ship. I know ships don't usually have vents. This one does.
This one does.
And they'd send you, the small halfling, in to, like, chimney sweep it.
Yeah.
But for the time being, you have a couple of contacts in the city, and you find yourself on a sort of balcony terrace, sipping a small drink. What would be Rían's, like, when he has the cash to spend? You've got cash now too, because you just took all the winnings.
I just took all the winnings, exactly. I am as liquid as I've ever been.
You also have all of Hook's Punk's money.
Oh, do I? Deadly. Like, what have they been doing?
They have not been buying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you took a lot.
Gifted by a generous DM.
Because I don't think you gave it to them.
No, I definitely did.
Left the bag of holding.
Yeah. See you later, guys. I think you're going to be all right. I essentially robbed them. So I think a cognac.
Oh, nice.
Would be my small cognac would be the.
A waiter comes up to you, very finely dressed. It's a city under siege, but whatever it is about society, whether it's D&D in real life, whether it's any multiverse, the rich never get affected.
I know. Yeah. They still get to enjoy their luxuries.
And a man comes up to you and goes, "Can I refill your cognac?"
Sure. One more for the road.
And will Mrs. be joining?
Well, that remains to be seen. And then I think the implication there is that Abby has been off doing her thing, and I'm kind of waiting for her at the moment. But in the back of my mind, being like, if she doesn't show up, I'll continue on. But like, this is the night we decided whether she would be part of the plan or not.
Yes, absolutely. And you are meeting a contact here to get information about, the ship inside out, but you don't necessarily know Ars and Vina.
Yeah.
Abby hasn't set this up. This is just your thing. And from across the balcony, you see a jet black-haired woman, sort of mid-hundreds. Wide-brimmed hat, bright red shades, lipstick, catches your eye from down the balcony and raises her glass of sparkling acorn juice. She takes a sip. She's there, and then you wait a little bit. Your contact in Bahaglen. Who do you think they are? Feel free to start with a beer name and work your way backwards. Feel free to slap it in, because sometimes you don't name a kid based on their physical appearance.
Yeah.
I can give you some of mine. I've got Magic Mist, Castaway.
I've got. This isn't a beer name. The name of the beer is Quiet Storm, but I'd actually quite like that to be like a spell later.
Yeah.
Huel Melon.
Huel Melon.
Huel Melon.
Huel Melon. Yeah, short for Melanie.
Short for Melanie. Yeah, exactly. And Huel is her title.
Yes, she has a Huel. She is a
Huel.
Yeah. A common title, and that's why, as part of the bourgeoisie here, she's able to issue membership to this club. She comes in and sits down and goes, "As I live and breathe, Rían."
It is.
She slaps you across the face.
I feel like I'm watching Michael Flatley's Blackbird. That is excellent.
She kisses you on the mouth.
Yeah. Melanie, or should I say melon?
I'm a Huel now, actually.
And I don't give a shit now. But for an old friend, okay. And I curtsy, kiss the ring, do the rest.
Yeah. It takes hours.
It takes literally hours. Yeah, and like
sunset.
It's good
sun
to
comes back up.
Yeah. It's good to see that you have arisen in the world. That is very good to see for a woman of your intelligence.
She doesn't like it. She uses magic.
Yeah.
Changed my mind.
Yeah. It's very rare that people of our station rise to become those who we most frequently take from.
She switches to Thieves' Cant. You know Melanie from the ships?
Yeah.
She was also a slave of Trolltunga's at one point. You grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
You did not escape together. You were meant to escape together.
Mm.
Something happened. She says, now, would I be right in saying now that you be here to see an old friend of ours?
You'd be absolutely right. I mean, one of us has to deal with them, and you're living the life of luxury, so I think it'd be better that I take care of this little piece of business.
And could I give you a piece of advice, of all the advice I could give you in the world? Let sleeping dogs lie. Live the life of luxury. You deserve it, my friend.
I don't think that I could live comfortably in a life of luxury, knowing that sick bastard is out there.
He's sick at all, but sure, the sick have a way of killing the sick. And I say to myself, at times, well, if you've made yourself, what made you, and what brings you here, brings you home.
That's a good perspective, I think, in the best of times, but our old friend has a little plan that I think might just upset the balance a little bit, so I think it's best that he be nipped in the bud, as well as all of his little pals, but sure, doesn't the day end at the end of the day, you know?
You're telling me. And I say, because I know myself, sometimes the itch doesn't scratch itself and you pick things up, and old habits die hard if they're going to die hard with vengeance.
I was willing to go straight faced on that until you, yeah. Go on, please.
Well, old habits die hard. If they don't, die hard 4.0.
If they don't live free, die hard.
If they don't, die hard too. Die harder. I've picked up some things about my friend. You know, ban on Trolltunga.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, just aside from that, we should probably, Thieves' Cant isn't, we should be more, you know what? People just don't seem to understand this accent.
Yeah.
They zone it out.
Yeah,
we can talk bluntly. It just seems to be the way. And it seems to me like there is a couple of, well, shall we say, back roads into their chalk on top of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And one way that you could get in is her eyes narrow. Her lip quivers. She begins to sway. And as she turns, you see that there's something has been shot. And she slumps down on the table.
Can I do a perception check to see who?
Absolutely.
Who did it? So skills, perception. I don't actually think I'm great at that.
But this is far more refreshing than the beer I just had.
24.
Yes. Almost with trigonomic accuracy. You see on a rooftop across the way seems to be a figure wrapped in sort of dark, mossy browns and greens. This is a very vibrant city. It's in a valley. There's lush vegetation everywhere. Not necessarily camo, but definitely dressed to fit in. And they see that you've seen them, and they begin to bolt.
I think I look at my cognac, think momentarily about Abby de Vauclair, look at them, and then give chase.
Yes, absolutely. Let's roll initiative, not for a battle purpose, but just for order of information.
Yeah.
He's gotten a 17. I say he, I should say they, because I honestly haven't gendered them yet. But just a shadow.
That's going to be a 28 from me.
Nice.
Love that initiative.
It's a rising city. Rooftops are often, it's multi-level, so like it's easy to jump from this balcony onto the rooftop that they were on, and they have a little bit of a head start, but you manage to catch up as you see them. Yes.
Oh, and there's a dog after me.
You manage to catch up quickly. You're using action and movement, and I think as a rogue bonus action can also dash.
Yes, yeah. As a bonus action, I can dash. Yeah.
You step back, throw some coins on as a tip.
Yeah.
Run away. And they are running across these rooftops. There are clothing lines out. They're ducking in between sort of vents for fireplaces, chimneys, and such. They have a little bit of a head start, and they are running, but you are gaining. You can see they seem to be somewhat, not necessarily, like there's no height in D&D between human and halfling. Yeah. It's like dwarves, halflings, gnomes, all down here, and then like humans and elves and stuff. But there seem to be a little bit in between, which is a little bit suspicious. Again, wrapped in all these kind of clothes, leaping forward. You are within firing range if you want to be, as they seem to duck and weave, but they're kind of moving between the, if you imagine those kind of like rooftop stairways.
Yeah.
Those kind of things.
Yeah. I think I'm more interested in the chase and getting close than in like, that might take them down, but I don't have like a hook shot or anything that I could.
Yes.
I think I'm still chasing. I think I'm full action on chasing.
Nice. Give me an acrobatics check.
Perfect. God, it's all acrobatics these days, which is nice for me. Does a 23 work?
23 definitely works. They managed to get a natural 20 on their acrobatics. It's the first of the day for first of the day for both of us, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Nice. Hey!
Hey!
How's that? As they are running, and with their natural 20, you get to a rooftop. It looks like a fair distance to the next leap. And they're gone, seemingly. You manage to keep chase, but they've just turned a corner and you can't seem to see them immediately. But that's not to say there can't be magic, abilities, anything else that you could use on this one to try and get them.
Yeah, okay.
They seem to be moving into, like you said earlier, crowd is the best place to disappear, and they're moving towards the market district.
Interesting. None of my spells seem to do anything. Disguise self wouldn't help. Hunter's Mark. You choose a creature you can see within range, mystically mark it. Fuck, I should have done that before. Can we kayfabe that I did? No, okay, I'm just going to go straight up perception to try and... No, I'm going to straight up perception to try and find them.
For the audience information, me being like, you're within range, was that.
Yeah, oh really? Oh, okay, yeah.
But I didn't want to be like, hey, you've got 100... It's unfair because Gab hasn't really played this intense D&D in so long.
Yeah.
Normally I have a little bit being like, use this spell. Yeah. But I'm trying as a DM not to.
Yeah. Okay, then I will use Hunter's Mark, first level spell, to mark my quarry.
Yes.
And then I have advantage on wisdom checks against them, so that would be perception.
Give me a perception check to see if you can find them, because I think it's only fair to, even if they're just turning a corner, I just want one dice roll to see if you can just make mistakes.
8, I
Ooh. With an 8, there are a couple of avenues in which you can take. There was a closed line down. They might have gone that way. Potentially with magic, they might have made the next leap. If they leaped and Misty stepped across, they could have made the next avenue. How else could they have gotten out of here? You do know there's a market nearby. You do know they're wearing kind of camo-y clothing.
Can I do an insight check to see where the best vantage point is for the market?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Or, yeah.
Survival, actually. It'd probably be survival.
Survival, great. I'll roll that natural one again.
Yeah, well, you're halfling. If it was natural one, you would have re-rolled anyway.
Oh, yeah, of course. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, no, survival's going to be... Yeah, survival. Wait, 1 second. Natural 20.
Ooh, nice. With that natural 20, You don't think they have leapt across to the next roof. It's a little bit too far, and they, if they were a magic caster, they would use magic, not tactile darts and arrows.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Although, it makes sense for you to jump across to that roof, because then you'll have both avenues, whether they've gone the clothesline way or whether they've gone the market way.
Okay, so then in that way, like from just a pure like play the percentages, I'm gonna Misty Step across to the next rooftop, get a better view of the marketplace, and also if they're over there, I'll be able to see them there. So that's where I go.
Yes, give me a dexterity saving throw as you Misty Step across to the next roof.
Dex saving, gotcha.
I'm not sure if you have advantage on these. I think you might as a rogue.
19?
19 still works.
Yeah.
You land, but it's a little bit of a rickety roof. And as you just manage to step off it in time, the roof behind you collapses. And you see a man in a bath there. And you run to the edge and you see that it wasn't the clothesline because the clothes were still on it.
Yeah.
But in the marketplace, and you see your target. You're like, right, there they are. And you hunters mark them straight away. And you see that they are going towards a couple of horses hitched outside a tavern. They pull back the blanket on a horse, jump on top, and kick one of them. There's a second horse there, of course, but they are now on somewhat of a wheeled vehicle, zipping through this town. What would you like to do?
How far away are they?
They are about 120 feet.
120 feet, that's quite a bit.
Sorry, what's Hunter's Mark's range? I shouldn't make things up on the fly.
Hunter's Mark's range. Range is 90 feet.
They're 90 feet away.
Okay. Grand. Okay, so my movement is... Walking speed is 25. Dashing is 50.
You can movement and action is 50, plus dashing is 75 in total.
Oh, okay, right. Then I do that unless I have any spell. And then I'm just going to check the...
You can also use beer magic if there is any beer magic here on the table. It's kind of a free pass.
Yeah. I'm gonna... Yes, yeah.
I'm magic mist if you want to use some magic mist to get there.
Yeah, I use some magic mist to get there. Yes. Which gives me 75, and then let's say it's a Misty Step, which is 30, excluding, I've used a Misty Step before a long rest, but this is a freebie.
This is a freebie because it's beer.
Because it's beer. So that gets me up to the horse.
Yes.
Yeah, and I jump on and take off after.
Yeah, you're going through the marketplace. You can still see them ahead. They're the only one on a horse that makes this noise.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't see them, I can hear them.
Yeah, there's smoke coming out. There are a couple of vegetable carts in the way, so I need you to make an animal handling check to see if you can...
Animal handling, honestly. Let's hope this +2. It's not good, it's a 6.
You have a choice. You can try weave around these vegetable carts. Or you can go straight.
I'm going straight through.
Yeah. I'm going to just do some damage to the horse. Takes 6 from the cabbages. It takes 9 from the...
Wait, what's the 15? This horse has more HP than the horse?
Well, we're about to find out. 6 from the cabbages. 9 from the cauliflowers. Oh, it heals 10 because you ran into carrots.
Oh, good. Yeah, phew.
It
ran straight in, into the mouth, and just inhaled 9 of them. Yeah.
Oh. Your horse crashes through these vegetable carts. Take a little bit of damage from the cabbages, a little bit of damage from the cauliflowers, heals up some
from the carrots.
Yeah, of course. But this guy seems to be definitely weaving in and out, and you come to a wide roundabout. Sort of Parisian.
Yeah, like around the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah, except it's a majestic fountain. Every layer more ridiculously majestic than the last. It's jam-packed with traffic. It's market time. People, even though it's a siege,
yeah.
gotta go to the market.
People got a market.
Yeah. You can kind of see them. Is there any way in which you'd want to navigate this majestic thing? When I say more majestic, it's like hippos squirting into hippos' mouths. Giraffe necks wrapped around itself. Like it's...
At what? So, how far away am I from him? What's the diameter of the fountain?
People go clockwise around it.
Yeah.
Although, if you went anti-clockwise, you'd make some time. It's dangerous, but it could be done. And it's huge. It's probably a 50 feet diameter. Pretty big? Yeah, probably.
And like, them to me, would it be 10 feet or?
They're a little bit ahead because they managed to weave through the vegetable carts, but you can see them at, say, like we're looking at the clock. They're at the 9 o'clock. You're coming in at the 6.
Okay.
They'll be around at the 12 in like a round's time.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. So I think I want to get off the thing at any point. Yeah. I'm going to turn this horse around and, like, it's dangerous, but go against traffic to try and get them.
Give me animal handling.
And animal handling is the thing I'm literally worst at. It's a 10.
10's not bad.
Generous.
With a 10, you weave around this traffic. And a cart comes towards you and starts like the horses aren't beeping.
Yeah.
But it cuts you off and you end up at a dead stop, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And from atop the carriage jumps down this woman in a wide-brimmed hat, red glasses, red lipstick. She throws her hat down. What the hell do you think you're doing? I am trying to catch that guy. You idiot!
I'm trying to catch him too. There's it. We can still get it. And like, he's peeling around.
Yes.
And like, I'm like, wait, we're going about this the wrong way. And then I beeline across the fountain, like at an angle so that I'm trying to like anticipate where he'll be in 50 feet, 20, I have 25. So like, and that's 6 seconds of combat.
Yeah.
So like, in 6 seconds, I'm anticipating, like, say he's at 3, I'll be at 4.5.
Yes.
So we're going about this the wrong way, and I just like go across the fountain, despite the fact that it is probably uncertain terrain, like difficult terrain.
Yeah, but I've set it up like a tiny hawk ramp.
Yeah. So I beeline across that and like grab her hand. Did we never said her name?
Raised a glass.
She just raised a glass.
Yeah. Let's give her a name.
Oh no, Huel Mellon.
No, Huel Mellon was your contact, who is now dead.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's call this lady Trouble.
Oh wait, red lipstick, red wide-brimmed hat.
Wide-brimmed. She was the one across jet black hair.
Yes.
Woman in her mid-hundreds.
Yes.
Who was just sort of there.
Yeah. I grab her hand to try and indicate that like we're going across this.
Yeah.
So
she hops on the back of the horse.
Yeah.
You're now about there. I need you to give me an acrobatics check.
Gotcha. 19.
With the 19, you don't manage to get the S above the fountain, but you do manage to pull off a 360 kickflip.
And get the secret tape.
You do get the tape. Yeah. But you don't get the S.
I don't get the S.
Yeah. You only have Kate.
Yeah.
And that would have made all the difference.
Yeah.
But yeah, so with the 19, that's pretty impressive. You managed to get this horse and lady across the fountain. You land down, and you're now still in pursuit of this target.
Yes.
They know you are in hot pursuit, and they slam down some smoke bombs as the road fills with a sort of noxious cloud. It's not just smoke, it's poisonous. As they're trying desperately to get away. But you know that a move like this isn't cheap material.
Yeah.
Desperate stuff here. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. She's also going to make the same.
Okay, can't say.
Not great.
great on con either. Oof, not great. 5.
6, 9, 11. You both take 11 points of poison damage as you go through this cloud.
Okay.
The audience might be thinking, 11 hit points? Common villager on their way to work. Yeah, people are dead. Like, there's just normal people trying to drive through this cloud.
Yeah.
Not making it home today. But with 11 points down, you're trying to chase them. It's kind of a last-ditch effort. They've managed to get a little bit of ground. Is there anything you can do that you can think? You've hunter marked them, so I think you know their location.
I do know their location, yeah, within 90 feet.
Within 90 feet.
I think when they're within 90 feet of me... Well, I've got constant... No, I don't actually understand what hunters mark. If it's like, you mark them when they're within 90 feet, and then you know their location.
I think so.
Yeah.
However, what I do need you to make is a Constitution saving throw to maintain concentration on that spell.
Yes, yeah. So
I never do that, I should.
A 20.
Yeah, that's more than the amount. You know where they'll be. You don't need to pursue this person, should you wish. But if you want to catch them now, I need Hail Mary pass on what the situation is.
I think I need to spells inventory. Is there anything? Fraggle Cloak of Displacement. Cloak of Displacement? No, that's not going to work. Arrows, dagger, rapier, ball bearings, crowbar. No, I think the only thing I have is my bow, so I'm going to have to make an attack.
Yes.
So I will attack them with the short bow, and I'm going to roll it. Fuck, rolling dog shit. It's an 11.
With that attack, the arrow, it's not like it's... You do aim correctly.
Yeah.
And it would hit them.
A 1 would have been better because I could have re-rolled it.
Genuinely.
But I got a 2. Yeah.
The arrow, and you managed to miss traffic coming your way. You're changing lanes, you're coming back in, you're weaving through here. It's a good shot. It's just that you turn at the last minute.
Yeah.
Would have hit them, obviously. Can you remind me what we just called that lady?
Hugh Mellon?
No, Hugh Mellon is the contract.
No, we called her Misty Magic. No.
Magic Mist is what we used. Did we give her a name in the end? Trouble Brewing. Like, I honestly, you know what? It only matters when I mention her name. Which I could cut this bit and never mention it.
Yeah.
I don't think we did. What was the other cutback? I don't think we gave her a name.
No,
what was on Quiet Storm?
Oh, Quiet Storm
was healed. Yeah. I don't think we gave her a name. So I don't think we've named this character. And as this arrow goes to the crowd, she turns around, she leans over and goes, "Just to introduce myself, my name is Trouble Brewing. And I think we've lost our mark." No thanks to you!
Yeah, fantastic. Like, okay, fine, we've lost our mark. That is my fault. I'm sorry. But do you know why this person was after me?
After you? That person was after me. And suddenly I believe I'm quite lucky in which they thought that me was the person you met.
And why would they be after you?
Well, because I know a way into our Sanfina. I know how to take down that thing. She points and it's perfectly framed.
Yeah.
I know a way in. I know what we have to do. And I know there are 3 anchors holding it in place. And if we can destroy them, whole thing crumbles down. Je know?
Je know. Then I think we've got a lot to talk about. Fade to black.
And where are we in the show? Is it a break time?
I think, is it? Yeah.
Or is it the end of
It might be the end. Yeah.
End of an episode. Yes, let's call this the end of this episode. Why not? Thank you so much for watching. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. We're getting closer to Christmas, which means we're closer to my birthday. Because I think the last of this session comes out 2 days before. Yeah, that's right. I'll dox my birthday. But we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Until then, look after yourselves. Be sound. Good night, and joy be with you all.